Hey everybody, War Wizard here. Today's a different kind of video. Um, I want to explain why I love Mortal Kombat as a franchise. It's always been my favorite video game series of all time. Uh, this is a I haven't really done a video like this, but I've always wanted to. I kind of want to shift my channel more towards Mortal Kombat content. I'm going to review the movies, the games. I'm going to do the story gameplays for MK9, MKX, and MK11 leading up to Mortal Kombat 1. My hype for the game is at an all-time high. Um, no game series gets me as excited as Mortal Kombat. And I just want to explain why. So this video will be starting off a whole new direction for my channel. I'm going to be focusing on Mortal Kombat content, some gameplay, reviews, talk about things, maybe react to the trailers and stuff like that. Let me play this, give you guys something to look at while I talk. Uh-oh. Why is this not... Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, I wanted to play something in the background for a little bit while I talk, give you guys something to look at. It's all the Mortal Kombat trailers, but anyway, I wanted to talk about why I personally love Mortal Kombat. Bear with me, I'm new to this. Yeah, this is kind of a hard video for me to make. I'm going to put my heart and soul out there, but yeah. So bear with me. I'm not that great at editing or anything right now. I'm trying to get there, but anyway, why I love Mortal Kombat. So I first played Mortal Kombat in the arcade when I was about 6 or 7, and I fell in love immediately. And I know a lot of people are always like, "Oh, Mortal Kombat's just it's because of the fatalities. It's a gimmick, blah blah blah." No, that's not what made me fall in love with Mortal Kombat. Because I didn't even know how to do fatalities for a while because I was young. I didn't really know anything. It was my first time playing it in the arcade. The first game was actually MK1. But the thing that made me fall in love with Mortal Kombat, first of all, and that's the first thing, is the characters. I liked how the characters looked. The digitized graphics stood out from any other game that was coming out back then. Of course, my favorite is Sub-Zero. He's been my favorite since MK1. I loved his look, and I loved that he had ice powers. Being able to free someone for a free hit, free combo, was awesome to me. And of course, I loved Raiden because of his lightning powers, and Liu Kang because at the time I was a huge Bruce Lee fan, mostly because of my dad. Those are still probably my top 3 favorite characters right now. But Sub-Zero has always been my favorite. Also, the atmosphere. I loved, how do I explain this? Like how there was kind of a mystery behind Mortal Kombat, like the stages and all the characters. There's just some sort of mystery. It captured your imagination, especially in the later entries like MK2, MK3's atmosphere. It was just kind of mysterious and dark and gritty. And another thing was the special moves. When I seen That's what drew me to the arcade machine was these guys were playing and they were doing all these special moves, and I was like, wow, this game looks so cool. I was watching people do Scorpion Spear and Liu Kang's bicycle kick, and I was like, oh man, I want to play this so bad. And then, but of course, when I tried to play it, I couldn't do it. But I eventually learned. I got a um, what do you call it? I rented the game from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video, something like that. And I got a strategy guide which had all the MK characters' moves and fatalities and stuff like that. And I did at the time I didn't even know what fatalities were. So I loved the special moves, the stages. The pit in MK1 was really the only stage in MK1 that I was like, wow, that looks so awesome. MK2 though in MK3, their stages were so awesome. They captured my imagination when I was a kid. Um, they just I don't know, like the atmosphere. It's hard to explain. They looked so cool, like the big moon in the background on the pit and stuff like that. The graveyard stage on MK3 looked awesome. I loved that stage, mostly because of the music. Um, what's that stage on MK2 with the spikes on the ceiling? I can't remember it, but I loved that stage. Um, yeah, just the stages overall looked cool and mysterious. Like they made you think, oh, what's going on? What's going on in the background. In the MK3, they had all the deserted cities that looked destroyed. They had Shao Kahn's tower in the background. It just made you want to learn about the story and lore. And that's another thing. The more I played Mortal Kombat, the more I got into the story, the lore, the ladder endings, and stuff like that. That's probably the main reason why people stick around with Mortal Kombat. It's not the blood, it's not the fatalities, it's the characters, story, and lore. It's actually very, very deep if you played all the games, pay attention to it, read the comic books, watch the movies and stuff. Maybe not so much the movies, but um, yeah, play all the games and stuff like that. And there's just a really deep lore in there that's very, very interesting. When I discovered fatalities, that's I loved them. I mean, I know I was young, but I thought they were so cool. They never really seemed that realistic, if that makes sense. Even back then, like I don't know, like Mortal Kombat violence compared to real life violence, it's not even comparable to me. Like fatalities just look a little too over the top and ridiculous. They kind of make you laugh sometimes. Some of them are gross, don't get me wrong, but yeah. When I first learned how to do fatalities, it would say like sweep distance, and I thought that meant I had to sweep the character. So if it's like Sub Zero's spine rip or whatever, I do the input and then sweep the character, and I can never do it. And I was always getting frustrated, so I finally looked in the strategy guide, and read it more carefully, and it told me sweep is sweep distance, close, far, stuff like that. And so I finally learned how to do it, and yeah, I personally love the fatalities. They give Mortal Kombat. They make them stand out a little more than other games. Um, but Mortal Kombat got me into fighting games. Like I love fighting games, and it's all because of Mortal Kombat. I had friends that were more Street Fighter fans. I never could get into Street Fighter as much as I could Mortal Kombat because the special moves were unnecessarily hard in my opinion. Like I get Street Fighter fans who are always like, oh, Street Fighter's hard. That's why I like it. I thought it was stupid to do a special move. You have to do like a half circle or a Z or something, and they're so hard to do on controllers, especially back then with like Super Nintendo controllers and stuff. Yeah, so I was always more of a Mortal Kombat person. In the 3D era, I definitely latched on to Tekken. Tekken's probably my second favorite fighting game franchise. But I wouldn't be into fighting games if it wasn't for Mortal Kombat. Um, the humor of Mortal Kombat I liked. Some of the fatalities, like Cabal's scream, his man, the soul, takes off running because it's scared. Just the way they would blow up in Mortal Kombat games, and there's like 15 rib cages and stomachs, and it was always kind of ridiculous, but like a little bit of humor to it. I loved the humor side of Mortal Kombat, especially later in the 3D eras when they started introducing like they started giving Johnny Cage more of a personality and Bo Raicho. I his fart stuff isn't that funny, but the way he his drunken style and the way he moves and talks and stuff is hilarious to me. I know a lot of people don't like Bo Raicho. Um, Let me think here. Yeah, those main things are what got me into Mortal Kombat. I love Mortal Kombat. No game gets me more excited than Mortal Kombat. When a new one gets announced, oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Um, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to make a video talking to you guys about why I love Mortal Kombat and why I want to make a goal of making my channel more Mortal Kombat oriented. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing story playthroughs, you know, gameplay tips and stuff like that. I'll be doing tier ranking lists, talking about characters, all my favorite characters, what characters I don't like, stuff like that. Maybe review the movies, some of the games. Leading up to MK1. When MK1 comes out, I'm probably going to focus a lot of my stuff on that. I am somewhat of a competitive player, so I do like to get good at the game and play online and stuff like that, so I'll probably be making content like that as well. But until that comes out, I'll be doing MK9 story mode, MKXs, MK11s. Um, I know I have a lot of Warzone stuff on here, but that's mostly just for me and my brother to watch back and laugh at and stuff. But I do have a tournament that I held, which Scorpion Prox won, by the way. Scorpion Prox was in my tournament, MK11 tournament. Um, what else? Oh, I also have Mortal Kombat Deception playthrough if you guys want to check that out. I did that last year, I think. I might redo it. Some of the videos are a little too long. But yeah, now I want to talk about what I kind of want to come back in MK1. This video is a little late because some of these things already got answered for me a little bit, but some things I want to come back. The humor. I feel like MK1 outside of Johnny Cage, or MK11, sorry, MK11 outside of Johnny Cage, they try to be a little too serious. Don't get me wrong. I know Mortal Kombat has its serious moments and stuff like that, but there wasn't enough humorous, funny things. Like, no fun game modes or really anything like that. It was just all, competitive, serious stuff. The story was a little too serious, It's like they're trying to be. Every game nowadays, I feel like, are trying to win Game of the Year, and they have to be some, tear inducing drama fest. I personally don't think that way, but I do want a little bit more of the humor to come back. Fun factor MK11, I liked it. It was a good game, whatever. I played a lot of it, but it was not my favorite, especially out of the NetherRealm games. MK9 is my favorite out of the NetherRealm games. It's probably my favorite Mortal Kombat overall. The combos, the characters, the secrets, the crypt mode, some of the fatalities. The story mode was the best. It had its dose of humor, but also seriousness. It was great. Um, but it was just fun to play. Straight up fun. I know there's broken stuff in it. Cabal, Sony, all that. They were broken. I get it. But it was just fun to play. Same with MKX. Yeah, it was broken. I get it. I don't miss the 50/50s, but I do miss the gameplay overall. Just fun, combo heavy, just fun to play. MK11 sometimes felt like a chore to play. You only 90% of the time to get a launcher or a combo, you have to spend meter or you have to do a crushing blow. There wasn't that many launchers. It was way more slow paced, very poke heavy, poke into throws. Poke wars were very annoying. Jump ins were very annoying to deal with. I did not like, and I feel like they also kind of catered. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But I just want them to bring back Fun Factor, which, judging from the trailer, looks like they're doing that with MK1. Tons of combos. Lots of combo options. Sonic Fox talked about it, saying that it's a true sequel to MK9. Just lots of creativity. That's another thing that MK11 lacked was creativity. Every single good Scorpion played the same. Good Sub Zero played the same. Good Fujin plays the same. Same exact combos. Same exact moves and custom variations. It was boring. Everyone played the exact same. But whereas like MK9 or MKX, uh, like take Madsen Sub Zero to Tom Brady, MK Tom Brady Sub Zero. They played way differently. One's in your face, mixing you up. The other one's more defensive, and you can tell. Oh, that's Tom Brady Sub Zero. You know, you didn't have that in MK11. Everyone played the same, and it was very, very boring. But it looks like they're bringing that back, and with MK1, I also want them to stop nerfing characters into the ground. I would rather them buff all the weaker characters and make them on par with the better characters. I mean, I get sometimes you need to nerf some things, but then they nerf characters so bad, and they're into like pretty much into the dirt, and no one wants to play them anymore. I hate that. Just buff them. Also, less grinding. MK11 was so grind heavy. I love the crypt, but I feel like everything should have been in the crypt. Brutalities, outfits outside of Combat League, um, fatalities, all that stuff. They need to add more videos too, like Deception. They had the videos of like, oh, Jax or behind the scenes stuff. Why can't they add more of that in there? But anyway, it needs to be less grind heavy. It was so MK11 was so grind heavy. To this day, I haven't unlocked everything. I think I unlocked most everything in the crypt, but then you have to go through all the character towers. They take forever. You're trying to get a brutality, and you don't get the brutality that you want, and it's just even the DLC fighters, they didn't come with all their brutalities. MKX they did, so I don't understand. I don't. It was way too grind heavy to get the stuff that you actually wanted. You had to grind, grind, grind. You get a bunch of stuff you don't want until you finally get that one item, and then you see another brutality or piece of clothing, whatever that you wanted, and you don't want to grind anymore because you already spent hours trying to grind for that one thing, and yeah, I just wasn't a fan of the grinding. I want a conquest style mode to come back. Judging from the trailer, we're probably not going to get that. It looks like just a regular old NRS story, but we'll see. I'm hoping for some sort of conquest type of thing. Stop dumbing it down. They make it easier, and it's not just Mortal Kombat that does this. Games nowadays make it easier for the bad players to feel good, to be better. MK11, they made things. I'm not going to sit here and say it was impossible to punish things, but they definitely made things a little harder to punish, especially with internet connection. If someone's on Wi-Fi and they do Scorpion's teleport without amplifying it, yeah, you can punish it, but you bring in their Wi-Fi and stuff and they throw it out, you block it, you try to punish it, but he blocks in time. They made it a little too easy for bad players to spam things sometimes, and I don't like that. Um, in MK9, MKX, if it was a bad player, you would steamroll them. And even the pro players themselves, they said they made lots of posts about it, how MK11 feels like bad players get away with more. And it's true. There's way too many wake up options and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, better music. MK11, their music was pretty lame. MKX's music was eh. MK9 had great music, but a lot of that was because they brought back classic music. So far, MK1's character select theme, if you guys haven't heard that, you can look it up on YouTube. It sounds way better. It sounds like a video game. It's cool. I like it. But, like, I miss some of the music from, some of the character selection screens. I can actually show you guys some of them. Let me see here. Show you guys some of the music that I like. MK Deception's character select. It's so awesome. Like, why couldn't they do that with MK 11 and MKX? Like, why couldn't they just bring back good music? Because I'm not gonna lie, some of the music is kind of, you know, especially MK11's. It's very boring. But yeah, stuff like that. I love some of the classic music. MK2's character select is probably my favorite. It's actually my ringtone. I love this music. Anyway, but yeah, so that's why I love Mortal Kombat, and those are some of the things that I want back. A lot of it looks like it's coming back in MK1, especially the combos and the creativity. Sonic Fox said, you know, the creativity is through the roof, especially with the cameo fighters. I know a lot of people are bitching about the cameo fighters. I think it's cool. It's a cool idea. No other fighting games are really doing it. I mean, you have Dragon Ball Fighter Z with their assists, but this seems you can't tag them in. They're only cameos that help you extend combos, combo enders. They're your breaker, which I thought was cool. You know, when you break out of a combo, that character flies in, boom, hits you off or whatever. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, the character comes in, you know, hits you off like Jax does a Superman punch and knocks you off of your opponent. I thought that was really cool. And the cameos also have their own fatalities. They each one have their own fatality. They help you in your fatal blow. Um, so I think it's a really cool idea. But back to why I love Mortal Kombat. It's just, it's hard to explain. All my Mortal Kombat fans out there will understand. They get it. But it's just, it means a lot to me. Mortal Kombat games have helped me through tough times because just thinking about digging into a new game, learning combos, looking at the fatalities, you know, going through story modes, ladders, and stuff like that, it helps get your mind off of things. And just the lore of Mortal Kombat is just so interesting. Um, I have a lot of knowledge about the Mortal Kombat games. Not to toot my own horn, but I do. All my friends are always asking me, oh, this and that about Mortal Kombat and stuff. Um, but yeah, I kind of want to take my channel to focus more on Mortal Kombat and maybe other fighting games. There's other franchises that I love: Gears of War, Halo, um, Red Dead Redemption, Left 4 Dead. But Mortal Kombat is my number one. It always has been since I was a kid. I don't know if you guys can see it, my Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero themed tattoo. I have my Mortal Kombat arcade machine going. Let's see. All my Mortal Kombat action figures. That's not all of them. That's just the ones hung up so far. Um, I have a bunch of Mortal Kombat pops. Got my Sub-Zero Mortal Kombat 11 shirt. I have a ton of Mortal Kombat apparel. Mortal Kombat's just my favorite game. I love it. I know a lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, fighting games. Why do you like fighting? It's just, I don't know. The one-on-one aspect where you only have to rely on yourself, I love that. I love the competitiveness of it. Um, Mortal Kombat's just the best. The art style, the characters, um, and that's another thing. Mortal Kombat, you know, some of the characters looked the same back in the day: Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, but they all had different moves. They felt different, way different from each other. You felt like you were playing Sub-Zero. You felt like you were playing Scorpion. Whereas, you know, games like Street Fighter and like Tekken even, they have so many characters that share moves. Not too big a fan of that. Um, I don't know. Mortal Kombat's just my favorite game ever. The oh, another thing I wanted to bring back is 3D era characters like Havoc, Ashura. Never really liked Reiko or them. They just weren't interesting to me. But I want them to. But I wouldn't mind if they came back because NRS can flesh them out even more. But yeah, I just wanted to. This was the gateway video into much more Mortal Kombat content. I wanted you guys to just know why it meant so much to me, why I love it. This is my first video like that, so it's kind of weird. Bear with me, I'll get better. Um, but yeah, like I said, my name is War Wizard. My channel is going to be focusing more on Mortal Kombat stuff. I still might upload Warzone stuff every once in a while. I might make them private. They're most, like I said, they're mostly for me and my brother and friends to go back and watch and stuff, and mostly for myself. I like to go back and watch them. But yeah, um, if you guys like this video, please give me a like, let me know, comment. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat, you know. Tell me why you guys love Mortal Kombat. What your favorite characters. I'll be back probably. I'll probably make another video in the next day or two. Um, it's probably going to be a tier list. And it's not. I'm not just gonna rank the characters and then leave. I'm gonna go in depth why I like the characters, why I don't like the characters, stuff like that. I might do it for stages and all that. And like I said, I'm gonna throw out some reviews out there. But yeah, if you guys like this video, give me a like. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Tell me why you love Mortal Kombat, and I'll see you all Monday, hopefully. See ya.